Hello, my name is Jada Ingram, and I'm doing a book talk on the book called Vote by Gary Paulson. It is Lexiled 8 2011 for middle school. It won no significant awards. The publishing is Wendy Lamb's Books. It has 144 pages, and the genre of this book is the theory, practice, and destructive properties of politics. A little bit about the book. The main character, Kevin Spencer, is a normal preteen boy in middle school who has everything together. He has a girlfriend who he's crazy about named Tina Zabinski, and they both seem to be doing very well with their new relationship. And a young fellow named Cash Devine transfers to the school, and Kevin sees him as a threat because Cash is very fun, Cash is very attractive, and Cash is popular. And Cash has an eye for Tina. And so, in order to win Tina, Cash enters into the election for class president. And so, Kevin enters into the election for class president, and now there is a war going on who can be class president and who can win Tina's heart. And as the story goes on, each of the characters are finding different strategies and different ways to win their classmates over. And already Kevin Spencer is a good leader, and he shows good sportsmanship, and he just seems to be the perfect candidate for class president. Now, as the story ends, who wins Tina? We don't know. Who wins the election? We don't know. We just have to read and find out. I'm going to read a passage from the book on page 26 to page 27. It says, "Oh, good, my first dilemma, and I was handling it masterfully. Granted, I was just sitting in class taking notes, but the important thing was that I was working the problem. The problem wasn't working me, and it was a good experience for later. Political people are judged by how they handle a crisis. By that standard, I'm a golden child. Why should I speak with first?" I tapped my pencil against my notebook and concentrated. What's the first interest group to approach? Teachers don't vote. A real shame considering how I've endeavored myself to the faculty and staff. The recent bout with skipping class and lying to everyone, notwithstanding, but hey, who hasn't had a rough patch? It's what makes the common man identify with a public figure. Smart move. Kev, in hindsight, a brilliant strategy. Even my goofs are helpful to me if I regard them in the proper perspective. I thought back to how the girls would feast on cash this morning. Feasted on cash this morning. He'd locked down the female vote just because he was good looking, and I couldn't afford to lose half the eighth grade right off the bat. Unless I got the younger girls on my side, Cash's brand of physical perfection was probably intimidating to unworldly sixth and seventh grade girls. I'd play up my boy next door quality and win their trust. Given that I lived in this town my whole life and Cash had just invaded, moved here 2 weeks ago, I could consider protective older brother to the younger girls, my turf. Um, I rate this book a 4. I do like it, and I like Kevin's character. I like his character a lot, actually, because he shows that he's not afraid of a challenge, and he shows that he's very ambitious and willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants, but in a kind, gentle manner. And yes, he does find Cash as a threat, but he's not afraid of Cash. And that's a good strategy to have with bullies in the school sense, in the school in a way, because even though bullies are very powerful and they seem to be popular sometimes, people like them sometimes if they're not afraid of them. it takes a brave soul to stand up to them and not be afraid to come at them and check them. And if there are any questions about Vote, you can ask me now. Okay? The next book we're going to move on to is There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed Some Leaves. Here's the cover. And it's by Lucille Calandro and it's illustrated by Jared Lee. It is a Lexile for AD 440L for elementary students. It has 16 pages, and the publishing company is Cartwheel Books / Scholastic Incorporated. A little bit about this story. It's obviously a series of books, The Old Lady That Swallowed, and this is the one where the old lady swallowed leaves. And she seems to be swallowing a lot of strange objects in this book, and children, when reading this story, the children, they will want to know what's going to happen while she's swallowing all these things. It's a fun way to get the kids suspenseful and get them to see, oh, what's next. I love the imagination of this book, the rhymes and how the pattern goes, so children can follow and they can also read along with you. It's suspenseful, like I said earlier, and the children are usually anxious to find out what's next. What I don't like about this book is that at the end, it didn't have a lot of wording. It was just an image with 2 words that says Happy Fall. And yes, you can read this story in the fall to your children, like for Halloween, November, Thanksgiving. But I feel like that page needed a little bit more wording to describe what was on the page. Here are a couple of pages in the book. This is the old lady swallowing leaves. This is her swallowing a shirt and leaves. And she's swallowing a pumpkin. And the end is this. This is what the end looks like. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, thank you all for watching. Bye.